Hello, thank you for logging in to watch today. If you are wondering why why you might not any longer be getting those notifications in your Facebook page, go to our Facebook page. Once on the page, click on those three dots on the far right. So I guess it'd be over here for you all. In the menu bar, it has things like posts or about us, and then click on the follow settings. Under notifications, click the live notifications option and adjust the setting there. We hope you're having a great day. It is the second week in February, and we are continuing to talk more about Black History Month. If you're unsure why we chose this to talk about, check out last week's video. First, we are going to hear about upcoming events. If you are new here, this segment is brought to you by none other than Ashley.
Hello.
Hello, how are you today?
Good, excited for our upcoming events.
Good, take it away.
All right, so we have a lot of great programs coming up in March and February that I want to share with you. First is our NAMI Basics class. This is an education program for parents, caregivers, and other family who provide care for children who live with mental health conditions. The class discusses the impact of mental health on the whole family, as well as how to advocate for your child. It begins on Saturday, February 20th. If basics sounds interesting to you, but your loved one is over the age of 18, I encourage you to attend our Family to Family class. It's an educational course for family, caregivers, and friends of individuals living with mental illness. The next class begins Monday, March 29th. Our families commonly have questions about guardianship. And at our next NAMI Education Series on Tuesday, March 23rd, we'll be joined by the judge of the Wood County Court of Common Pleas, Probate, and Juvenile Division to provide information about the guardianship process. Finally, I want to share details about our next mental health first aid class. Class starts on Saturday, March 27th, and includes a 5-step action plan to offer the initial help to someone experiencing the signs and symptoms of a mental health condition or experiencing a crisis. The class is filling up fast, so make sure to register soon. In honor of Black History Month, I'd also like to mention that we at NAMI Wood County strive for cultural humility in all of our programs. To learn more about NAMI's diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts, make sure to check out the link in the comments.
Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate all that news that you've shared.
Thank you.
Our Did You Know segment is featuring a favorite inspiration of many, and also Bree. Hi, Bree.
Hi, Jessica.
You're also an inspiration to many.
Thank you. I try. So like Jessica said, I will be talking about one of society's biggest inspirations, Maya Angelou. So as described in an article from Respectability, Maya Angelou was an award-winning author, poet, civil rights activist, college professor, and screenwriter. Most recognized for her literary works, Angelou was and remains among the most influential women of her time. After passing away in 2014, Angelou still widely is remembered and honored for her hard work and perseverance over decades. As a child, Angelou was sexually abused by her mother's boyfriend. She told her brother, who then told the rest of their family. Though the boyfriend was found guilty, he was only jailed for 1 day. 4 days after his release, he was murdered. As a result, Angelou became mute for almost 5 years because she was terrified that her words were what got him killed. Maya Angelou has had selective mutism, an anxiety disorder that causes a child to not speak due to physical and psychological trauma they have endured. In the 5-year span that she experienced this, her listening, observing, and memorizing skills improved and her love of books expanded. This helped her later when she began working on becoming successful in her career. Maya Angelou is another example of the way individuals who have experienced living with a mental health condition enrich our lives. If you are experiencing crisis, the crisis line is scrolling below, and you can call to speak with the crisis counselor at 419-502-4673. Back to you, Jessica.
Thank you for all that great information, Bree.
Absolutely.
So if you're curious about, pick up one of her books. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings specifically addresses racism and trauma. You really won't be disappointed. So Mental Health in the News features our very own Courtney Rice. Hi, Courtney.
Hey.
We're looking forward to what you have to share in the news.
Oh, I'm looking forward to sharing all in the news. So as we continue this month with Black History Month, today we wanted to discuss the mental health stigma and the difficulties and barriers that Black women specifically face when searching for mental health support. In 2020, we not only as a nation had stressors surrounding the pandemic, but also the racial injustice that happens frequently in our country. While the Black Lives Matter movement and other social justice groups worked hard and continue to persevere to combat these inequalities, many of these individuals may be facing mental health stigma and barriers to treatment as well. Black women, in particular, are more likely than white ones to report feeling sad and hopeless most of the time, but only 30% of Black adults who needed mental health care in 2017 received this, as opposed to 48% of white adults getting the care that they need. Black women, unfortunately, face many challenges to getting support that they need, including racism and societal injustice, as well as financial concerns. There are also unique stressors that Black women face that are poorly misunderstood in treatment circles. Additionally, studies show that African Americans seeking treatment are less likely to be offered evidence-based medication, therapy, or psychotherapy. This has to do with the low number of African Americans in the mental health profession. Angela Neal Barnett, a professor of psychological studies and the director of the Program for Research on Anxiety Disorders among African Americans at Kent State University, says, "With the dual pandemics of racism and COVID-19 upon us, Black women are overwhelmed. We don't have time to explain to a therapist what it means to be Black and female in this country. We don't have the energy to educate our therapist about who we are as Black women." This is why it's important that licensed therapists demonstrate some level of cultural competence, meaning that they know the various communities, what they're facing, and how they can navigate different cultural differences between themselves and a client. To learn more, you can visit the link in the comments. One thing as well that keeps many Black women from reaching out for help is the belief that they can internally carry all that they have on their hands on their own. This has been known as the strong Black woman syndrome by many in this community. There are many examples and stereotypes in society that encourage this thought. Fortunately, there are mainstream media and celebrities working to destigmatize this discussion of problems and encourage Black women to ask for help. At NAMI County, we want to destigmatize mental health across all cultures and backgrounds. Reach out today if you're interested in additional support for your mental health needs. That's all today. Mental health in the news.
Thanks for sharing all that information with us. And what a great article you found.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Shari is sharing again. We look forward to all of our self-care tips every week.
Yes. This time I'm going to be talking about racial stress and self-care. I could only imagine raising a Black child could be stressful. Race-related stress can make it hard to have space to take care of yourself as a parent. Racism stress impacts parents emotionally, physically, and spiritually. As a parent, we want the best for our children, and having to teach a Black child about racism could be painful. Everyone starts out in life the same. It is the stressors that change people. Here are some ways we can handle racism stress. Build or access a support network. Join a group or start a group with others who may have similar experiences and interests. I would encourage everyone to educate yourself on what you do not understand. Fear can come out in many ways, and the more you know, the less you are afraid of it. Americans are of many cultures and religions. Take a class on different culture and religions. Get some exercise. I know we hear it all the time, but physical activity helps reduce stress and anxiety. It also makes you feel good about yourself. And I'm going to leave you with this affirmation. I am willing to learn and grow. Have a great Tuesday, and back to you, Jessica.
Thank you. We always appreciate your self-care tips. Thanks for watching. We hope that you have a great week, and we're excited to see you next week for NAMI News at 2. Bye.
Bye.